going through the admin way instead of like, okay, the student learns this way, the student's doing, supposed to, these are the strategies that work best with him, so that's, yeah, really good.
Proactive versus reactive, that's all it is in a sense.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
So, if I had to summarize, one key way to improve instruction is maybe give a streamlined process for teachers in terms of ELL and SPED populations to implement those instructional strategies?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, and ensuring that they're getting the training, right? So like if going back to SPED, I think it would be awesome for teachers to be trained on what are different types of disabilities. How can we provide services? Like, what are good, proven, research-based instructional strategies to utilize with kids with ADHD, to utilize with kids with autism, right? Like, yeah, we do autism training, but that doesn't necessarily enable me to teach kids with autism. Or so I think focusing on professional development for instructional strategies for these kids.
And be able to differentiate too, because it's easier just to set up a whole plan for one full class instead of like individual lessons, so for the students how they need to be receiving their education.
And that's not really offered during new teacher orientation either, right?
Not to the
or like the new
level
teacher.
that it needs to be.
Yeah.
And even if it is, right,
Yeah.
like new teachers, if we're considering like teachers that are 0 to 3 years in the profession, it's so much information. Or if you're new to the campus, right, you're trying to learn campus procedures. It's just information
On top of
overload.
everything else,
Yes.
it can be too much.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that is what I like about the model of our ESL huddle, right? It's a short bursts of concentrated trainings throughout the year. So maybe I think they meet maybe once a month.
And every teacher's able to come, and they know about it, right?
Yes.
But
I think sometimes we need to maybe tell a teacher,
hey,
this is going to be really good for you because you have 50 ESL students in your classroom.
so motivation to attend those is low right now.
Yeah, I would say so. And I know that they put it on ECHS News. I know that in her individual emails, our ESL teacher will say, hey, don't forget that we have an ESL meeting or an ESL huddle this Friday. I'd love to see you there.
I mean, it makes sense because it's a pretty big percentage of our school.
Right, yeah. And
40% are ESL students, or I mean, not like maybe they know English, yes, but like still they're classified as that.
Right.
So there's got to be a way to intervene so that the teachers are working with them, because I can totally see what you're saying. Motivation for the students is probably going to be low if they're just given the same material as a fluent.
Yes.
Same with
Right.
students with a disability.
Right.
We have to kind of modify it a little bit.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. So that was kind of my goal, was let's try to get them in class, but you also make good points of when they're in class, what's the next step, right?
Yeah.
So from like the deans and what do they call ICs, or they like for each subject?
Well, we don't. We used to have instructional
The leads.
facilitators. We don't have that anymore, but we have our leads.
Our leads is that a possibility to support them in the classroom, the teachers?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, because they have, or the department chairs should have a department chair period that's open. And I know that the expectation is that they are doing, I think, 6 observations per week on
6
people,
per week.
Yes, people in their department. So they're doing those observations, but is that being communicated? Is the feedback being communicated back to the teachers? I'm not sure.
And quickly.
Right.
And is the feedback focused on, ELL or SPED accommodations or, instructional practices?
Right, I don't know. That's a good question.
That is a good question. Oh, thank you. Let me stop this.